low blood pressure is never a problem unless you're taking pills, blood pressure pills, or you're bleeding to death or some other major health consequence. Otherwise, the blood pressure cannot become too low in a healthy person. Low in terms of other people's thoughts, but not in terms of health. People in rural Africa, the folks who lived on the Burkitt kind of diet I talked to you about, they would run blood pressures like 70 over 40 at night. These people have no heart disease, no breast cancer, no colon cancer. They run 12 miles a day. Orthostatic hypotension is when you stand up, your blood pressure falls because gravity takes the blood down to your feet. And so you have less blood in the brain. And so you become faint or weak. So this happens when you stand up, your blood pressure drops. That's orthostatic hypotension. Eating salt, I haven't found that helps. You can try it. Not going to do you any harm. I think being careful is what helps. I think you need to be extremely careful about standing up and not falling, because a fall's a really bad thing. So don't do it. And that's the best advice I have. I don't know any, except if you're on any pills, make sure they don't lower blood pressure. Sometimes people are taking pills that lower blood pressure that are used instead to treat heart disease or maybe diabetes. They're used for, they weren't prescribed for you to lower your blood pressure, but they're prescribed, say, to slow the heart rate. So often you're taking medication that you wouldn't think is blood pressure medication because you really haven't analyzed the effects and side effects, which you should on all your medications. You should be, if you're taking any drugs at all, you should be an expert on these drugs. You should walk into your doctor's office and start talking about your health care. And within 5 minutes, the doctor should say, "Sir, ma'am, you know more about these drugs and your disease than I do." Well, you say, "Of course I do, doc. These are my diseases. These are my pills. Why would you expect me not to know as much as you do as more?"